The stars looked cold through the window of the spaceship. Olivia Mercer stood with her hands behind her back watching them. She wore a plain gray uniform with 3 small stars on the collar. Her short brown hair was neat and tidy. Her face showed no feeling, but inside her heart beat fast. Earth was in big trouble. They had fought the Vexari Empire for 10 years. Earth had lost. Now they had to pay, but Earth had no money or resources left. The Vexari wanted payment, and they would destroy Earth if they didn't get it. Then the Vexari offered a different kind of payment. They wanted a bride for their Prince Kyrus. They wanted someone important from Earth. The leaders of Earth chose Olivia because she was a top commander in Earth's space fleet. Olivia didn't want to go. But she loved Earth, and she was a soldier who followed orders. So she said yes. What the Vexari didn't know was that Olivia carried a secret weapon inside her body. Tiny machines called nanites flowed in her blood. These nanites could get into Vexari computers and shut them down. Olivia wasn't just a bride. She was Earth's last hope. "Commander Mercer, we will reach Vexar Prime in 6 hours," said a voice behind her. Olivia turned around. Lieutenant Samantha Brooks stood there holding a beautiful silver dress. Sam was Olivia's handler, the person who gave her orders for the secret mission. "Thank you, Lieutenant," Olivia said. Her voice was calm, but her mind was busy. 6 hours until she met the aliens who had killed so many of her friends in the war. "Are you ready?" Sam asked quietly. "I've been ready since they put the nanites in me," Olivia answered. She remembered the pain of the injections. Dr. Morgan Pierce had done it herself. Morgan's hands had been gentle, but the nanites had burned like fire going into Olivia's veins. "Let me check your collar," Sam said. She adjusted the metal band around Olivia's neck. It looked like jewelry, but it was really 2 things: a device that checked Olivia's health and a weapon that would kill her if she tried to run away. The collar felt cold against Olivia's skin. A reminder that she was not free. She was a tool, a weapon, a sacrifice. "Remember your mission," Sam whispered, looking around to make sure no one else could hear. "Find their defense grid controls. 6 billion lives depend on you." Olivia nodded. Earth's population was counting on her. If she failed, the Vexari might still destroy her home planet. "What about the prince?" Olivia asked. "What is he like?" Sam's face became hard. "He's not human. Don't think of him as a person. He's the enemy. His people killed millions of ours, and we killed millions of theirs," Olivia said quietly. Sam ignored this. "The wedding is in 10 days. By then you need to have found a way to access their main computer systems. The nanites will do the rest." Olivia looked out the window again. The stars were different here, far from Earth. She wondered if she would ever see home again. What if they discover the nanites? She asked. "They won't," Sam said. "Dr. Pierce made them undetectable to Vexari scanners. But if something goes wrong..." She touched the collar around Olivia's neck. The meaning was clear. If Olivia was caught, they would kill her to protect the secret. Later, Olivia sat alone in her small room on the ship. She looked at a picture of Earth, blue and green and beautiful. She had fought for that planet her whole life. First as a regular soldier, then as a pilot, and finally as a commander of Earth's best stealth squad. Now she was fighting for it one last time, not with guns or ships, but with herself as the weapon. She touched the hidden pocket in her sleeve. Inside was a tiny pill. If things went very wrong, if she was caught and the collar didn't work, the pill would end her life quickly. Better that than letting the Vexari learn about the nanites. The door opened and Captain Laura Chen walked in. She was the captain of this diplomatic ship. "We just got a message from Vexar Prime," Laura said. "They're sending an escort to meet us. 4 of their battle cruisers." Olivia stood up straight. "Is that normal?" Laura shook her head. "No, 1 ship would be normal. 4 means they're either honoring you or they don't trust us. Maybe both." "Thank you, Captain," Olivia said. When Laura left, Olivia sat down again and tried to calm her mind. She remembered her training. How to act with the Vexari. How to spot weaknesses in their security. How to release the nanites at the right moment. The fate of Earth rested on her doing everything perfectly. Hours passed. Olivia changed into the silver dress. It was beautiful, but still allowed her to move freely if she needed to fight or run. Hidden in the dress were small weapons and tools she might need. "Commander, we've arrived," Sam called through the door. "The Vexari escort is here." Olivia took a deep breath and looked at herself one last time in the mirror. Her face was calm. No one could tell she was carrying Earth's most advanced weapon in her blood. She stepped out of her room. Sam and Captain Laura were waiting. They walked together to the ship's main door. Through the windows, Olivia could see Vexar Prime. It was a huge planet with swirling red clouds. Around it floated many space stations and ships. And coming toward them were 4 large Vexari ships, each one bigger than 10 Earth ships put together. "Remember," Sam whispered as the door began to open, "you are Commander Olivia Mercer, chosen bride for Prince Kyrus. Nothing more." But they all knew she was much more. She was a spy, a soldier, and maybe Earth's last hope. The door opened fully. Bright light flooded in, and Olivia stepped forward to meet her new life among the enemies of Earth. 3 days passed on Vexar Prime. Olivia spent much of her time learning Vexari customs for the wedding. Each morning, servants with pale green skin would come to her room. They would help her dress in Vexari clothes and teach her how to speak certain ritual words. When she wasn't practicing wedding customs, Olivia explored the palace. She pretended to be curious about her new home. In truth, she was mapping the building and looking for access to the defense systems. So far, she had found nothing useful. The palace was huge, with hundreds of rooms that seemed to change location. Worse, she was always watched. Guards followed her everywhere, staying a few steps behind. And when there were no guards, there was Prince Kyrus. The prince often appeared suddenly, as if from nowhere. He would walk with her, asking questions about Earth and human customs. Olivia answered carefully, never revealing anything important. "You are a mystery, Commander Mercer," Prince Kyrus said during one of these walks. His skin was deep blue today with swirls of purple. "You speak, but you say nothing. You look, but you reveal nothing." "I could say the same about you, Prince Kyrus," Olivia replied. The prince made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Perhaps that is why my father chose you as my bride. We are alike, you and I." Olivia didn't answer. She wasn't here to make friends or find similarities. She was here to save Earth. That night, a formal dinner was held in the Great Hall of the palace. All the important Vexari were there, along with the few humans allowed on the planet. Olivia sat at the main table with Prince Kyrus and his father, Emperor Zoltan. The emperor was old for a Vexari. His skin was pale and almost see-through. His eyes were cloudy, but when he spoke, his voice was strong and carried across the room. "Tomorrow begins the 7 days of bonding," Emperor Zoltan announced. "The final preparations before my son takes his bride." The Vexari all made a humming sound that vibrated through the air. Olivia felt it in her bones. Across the table sat Ambassador Heather Caldwell, the only other high-ranking human on Vexar Prime. She was older than Olivia, with gray in her brown hair. Her eyes were sharp and missed nothing. "The 7 days of bonding is a sacred time," Heather explained quietly to Olivia. "You won't be allowed to see the prince during this period. It's a time of reflection before the marriage." Olivia nodded. This could be her chance. Without the prince watching her, she might find a way to access the defense systems. As servants brought strange-looking food to the table, Heather leaned closer to Olivia. "Meet me in the Garden of Singing Stones after dinner," she whispered. "I have something for you." Olivia gave a small nod. She trusted no one here, not even other humans, but she needed all the help she could get. After dinner, Olivia found her way to the garden. It was a strange place. Instead of plants, there were stones of different colors and shapes. They floated in the air and made soft sounds when the wind blew through them. Heather was waiting behind a large blue stone. "Commander Mercer," she said quietly. "We don't have much time." "What is it, Ambassador?" Olivia asked. Heather took something from her pocket. It looked like a decorative pin with a small crystal in the center. "Put this on your dress," she said. "It's a data crystal disguised as jewelry." Olivia took the pin carefully. "What's on it?" "Information you need," Heather said. Her eyes darted around, checking for watchers. "Not everything is as we were told. There are secrets about this war, about why you're really here." Before Olivia could ask more questions, a guard appeared at the entrance to the garden. Heather stepped away quickly. "The garden is beautiful at night, isn't it, Commander?" she said in a normal voice. "The stones sing different songs depending on the temperature." Olivia played along. "Yes, it's fascinating. Thank you for showing me." The guard watched them for a moment, then moved on. Heather gave Olivia one last meaningful look, then walked away. Back in her room, Olivia examined the pin. It looked like normal Vexari jewelry. Sam was not there. She had been given separate quarters during the 7 days of... Bonding Olivia was alone for the first time since arriving on Vexar Prime. She took out a small device, hidden in the heel of her shoe. It was a reader for data crystals. She carefully connected the pin to the reader and turned it on. The screen showed thousands of files, reports, communications, video recordings. Olivia started reading, and as she did, her blood turned cold. The files showed that the war between Earth and the Vexari had been started by a third party, the Nexus Consortium. They were a group of weapons makers who had sold arms to both sides. They had made huge profits from the war. Worse, the Nexus had lied about the terms of surrender. The Vexari had never asked for a human bride. They had offered peace with no payment needed. The Nexus had changed the message, making both sides distrust each other. But why? Why would they do this? Olivia kept reading. The answer was in a hidden file. The Nexus wanted access to Vexari technology. They had people working in Earth's government. They had arranged for Olivia to be sent to Vexar Prime because she carried the nanites. But the nanites weren't designed to just gather information. They were made to destroy Vexari systems completely. Once activated, they would spread through the entire planet's network. Every computer, every system would fail. Millions of Vexari would die, and then the Nexus would step in. They would offer to help rebuild, gaining access to all Vexari technology in the process. Olivia felt sick. She had been used. Earth's leaders had been used, and the Vexari were innocent of the crimes they had been accused of. She had to do something, but what? If she told the Vexari about the nanites, they might kill her and attack Earth anyway. If she did nothing, she would be part of a plan to kill millions of innocent beings. As she sat thinking, the air in her room began to shimmer. A shape formed, Prince Kirus. He appeared solid, but Olivia knew it was some kind of projection. "You should not be here," Olivia said, quickly hiding the data reader. "The 7 days of bonding has begun." "This is only a projection of me," the prince said. "I am not really here, so the rules are not broken." His skin was white now, a color Olivia had never seen on him before. "What does white mean?" she asked, pointing to his skin. "It is the color of revelation," Prince Kirus said, "of truth being exposed." He moved closer to her. "You know the truth now, don't you?" "As do I. We have both been betrayed." Olivia's heart raced. "What do you mean?" "The Nexus Consortium," Prince Kirus said. "They manipulated us all. My father just received proof from our spies. The war was their doing. The demand for a bride was their invention." He looked directly at Olivia. "And the nanites in your blood were their idea, not Earth's." Olivia froze. "How do you know about the nanites?" The prince's image flickered. "We have known since you arrived. Our scanners detected them despite the shields that were supposed to hide them." "Then why am I still alive?" Olivia asked. "Why didn't you kill me immediately?" Prince Kirus's skin shifted to a deep green, the color of determination. "Because we believe you are also a victim, a tool being used by the Nexus, just as we all are." His 4 hands opened in a gesture of peace. "And because we need your help to stop them." Olivia stared at Prince Kirus's projection. Her mind was racing. The Vexari knew about the nanites. They had known all along. Yet they hadn't killed her. "Why do you need my help?" she asked carefully. "You could destroy Earth now that you know what we planned." "We do not want more destruction," Prince Kirus said. His skin rippled with shades of green and blue. "We have lost too many already, and your planet has suffered as well. So what do you propose?" Olivia asked. The prince moved closer. "The Nexus Consortium has agents on both our worlds. On Earth, they control key leaders in your government. On Vexar Prime, they have threatened my father with another war if he does not give them our technology." "But the nanites," Olivia said. "They're in me. They could still destroy your systems." "Yes," the prince agreed. "But they were designed by the Nexus, not by Earth's true government. We believe they can be reprogrammed." Olivia thought about this. The nanites had been created by Dr. Morgan Pierce, but the materials had come from a company owned by the Nexus. It was possible they had built-in functions that even Morgan didn't know about. "I need to contact someone on Earth," Olivia said. "Someone I trust." Prince Kirus nodded. "We can help with that. But first we must disable the tracking device in your collar." Olivia's hand went to her neck. The collar. She had almost forgotten about it. It monitored her and would kill her if she tried to betray her mission. If we remove it, it will alert my handlers, she said. We have been studying it, the prince said. We can freeze its functions for a short time. Long enough to remove it safely. Olivia hesitated. If she removed the collar, she would be truly on her own. No backup from Earth. No way to call for help if this was a trap. But if the prince was telling the truth, this might be the only chance to stop a new war. Do it, she said. The prince's projection disappeared. A moment later, the real Prince Kiris entered her room. With him was a Vexari scientist carrying a small device. This will freeze the signals from your collar, the scientist explained, but only for 5 minutes. We must work quickly. The scientist placed the device against Olivia's collar. It made a soft humming sound. The collar, usually warm against her skin, became cold. Now, the scientist said. Prince Kiris stepped forward. With 2 of his hands, he carefully opened a hidden catch on the collar. It fell away from Olivia's neck. For the first time since leaving Earth, Olivia felt truly free, but also very alone. What now? She asked. Now we contact your Admiral Kennedy, Prince Kiris said. She is one of the few leaders on Earth not controlled by the Nexus. How do you know that? Olivia asked, surprised. We have our own spies, the prince said, just as you have yours. They moved to a hidden room behind a shifting wall. Inside was a communication system unlike anything Olivia had seen before. It looked like a pool of silver liquid. This is a quantum channel, Prince Kiris explained. It cannot be monitored or traced. You can speak to Admiral Kennedy safely. Olivia put her hand into the silver liquid. It was warm and tingled against her skin. An image formed above the pool. Admiral Grace Kennedy, sitting at her desk on Earth. Her eyes widened when she saw Olivia. Commander Mercer? Is this real? Our systems show your collar is still active and you're in your quarters. It's real, Admiral, Olivia said. But we don't have much time. The Nexus Consortium has been manipulating both Earth and the Vexari. The war, the surrender terms, all of it was their doing. She quickly explained everything she had learned. Admiral Kennedy's face grew darker with each word. I suspected something was wrong, the Admiral said, but I never imagined it went this deep. We need to expose them, Olivia said, before they start another war. It won't be easy, Admiral Kennedy warned. They have people everywhere, and without proof no one will believe us, Prince Kiris spoke up. We have proof. The data crystal your ambassador gave to Commander Mercer contains everything we need. Admiral Kennedy looked at the prince with surprise. You're working together? We have to, Olivia said. It's the only way to stop the Nexus. They made a plan. Admiral Kennedy would gather loyal officers and prepare to move against the Nexus agents on Earth. Meanwhile, Olivia and Prince Kiris would expose the truth on Vexar Prime. But as they finished talking, an alarm sounded through the palace. What's happening? Olivia asked. Prince Kiris touched a control panel. A screen appeared, showing the space around Vexar Prime. A fleet of ships was approaching. Ships that were neither Earth nor Vexari design. Nexus ships, the prince said grimly. They must have discovered our plan. At that moment, the door to the hidden room slid open. Lieutenant Samantha Brooks stood there, holding a weapon. Step away from the prince, Olivia, Sam said coldly. Olivia's heart sank. You're working for the Nexus, Sam smiled without warmth. I've always worked for the Nexus. Why do you think you were chosen for this mission? We needed someone the Vexari would accept. Someone with a record of bravery they would respect. You used me, Olivia said. We all use each other, Sam replied. That's how the game is played. She pointed her weapon at Prince Kiris. Now, Your Highness, you're going to give us access to your defense grid, or I'll kill your bride right now. Prince Kiris's skin turned deep red, the color of anger. You will fail, he said. Even if you kill us both, others know the truth now. Sam laughed. Others? You mean Admiral Kennedy? By now our agents will have taken care of her. But Admiral Kennedy's voice came from the communication pool. Not quite, Lieutenant Brooks. Your agents found an empty office. I'm already on my way to the president with the evidence. Sam's face showed shock, then fury. She fired her weapon at the pool, destroying the communication link. Then she turned the weapon back to Olivia. It doesn't matter, Sam said. The Nexus fleet will be here soon. We have automated warships hidden in the asteroid belt between Vexar Prime and its nearest moon. They're programmed to attack as soon as the wedding ceremony begins. There won't be a wedding ceremony, Olivia said. Not now that we know the truth. Sam smiled again. Oh, there will be. Because if there isn't, the Nexus will simply destroy this planet and blame it on Earth. And then they'll destroy Earth and blame it on the surviving Vexari. Either way, they win. Prince Kyrus moved slightly, positioning himself between Olivia and Sam. You cannot win this fight. Human, he said to Sam. Surrender now, and you may live. Sam pointed her weapon directly at the prince's chest. I don't think so. You're coming with me, both of you. The ceremony will happen as planned. But instead of a happy ending, it will be the beginning of the end for both your worlds. Suddenly, the floor beneath Sam began to move. It rippled like water, then surged upward, wrapping around her legs. Sam fired her weapon, but the liquid floor moved faster, climbing up her body until only her head was free. What is this? She gasped. Liquid metal, Prince Kyrus said. The building material of our world. It responds to my thoughts. He walked closer to Sam. Now, you will tell us everything about the Nexus fleet. Sam struggled against her metal prison. I'll tell you nothing, she spat. Olivia stepped forward. You don't have to tell us, she said. I think I know how to stop them. She turned to Prince Kyrus. The nanites in my blood, you said they could be reprogrammed. The prince nodded. Yes, our scientists believe so. Then that's our answer, Olivia said. Instead of using them to destroy Vexari systems, we use them to broadcast the truth. To everyone on both planets. The Vexari ships were huge and shaped like stars. They surrounded the small Earth ship as they flew toward the planet below. Olivia watched from a window, trying to count the weapons on each Vexari ship. There were too many to count. They're hailing us, Captain Laura said. The lead ship wants to speak to you, Commander. Olivia nodded and stepped in front of the communication screen. The screen lit up and she saw a Vexari for the first time in person. Its skin was pale blue and seemed to glow from within. It had no hair, and its eyes were large with pupils shaped like diamonds. When it opened its mouth to speak, Olivia saw rows of small, sharp teeth. Commander Mercer, the Vexari said. Its voice made strange echoes like two people talking at once. I am Fleet Master Zorn. Welcome to Vexar Prime. We will escort you to the palace. Thank you, Fleet Master, Olivia said, keeping her voice steady. We appreciate the escort. The Vexari's skin changed color slightly, becoming more purple. Olivia remembered from her briefings that this meant curiosity. You are not what we expected, Fleet Master Zorn said. What did you expect? Olivia asked. Fear, the Vexari said simply. Then the screen went dark. Sam, who had been standing out of view of the screen, moved closer. They can sense emotions. Dr. Pierce's injections are working. They can't tell what you're feeling. Olivia nodded. Before leaving Earth, Dr. Morgan Pierce had given her special hormones that masked human emotions from the Vexari's natural ability to sense feelings. Without these hormones, the Vexari would know immediately that Olivia was not just a bride but a spy. The ships entered the atmosphere of Vexar Prime. Red clouds surrounded them for a few minutes, and then they broke through into clear air. Olivia gasped at what she saw. The Vexari city was beautiful and strange. Tall buildings made of what looked like liquid metal reached toward the sky. Some buildings floated in the air with no visible support. Between the buildings, small flying vehicles moved in perfect order. Everything glowed with soft light, even though 3 suns were shining in the sky. It's not what I imagined, Laura said quietly. No, Olivia agreed. She had expected something harsh and military, like the Vexari ships. But this city was elegant and peaceful. Their ship landed on a platform high above the city. As soon as they touched down, the door opened. Warm air rushed in, smelling sweet and strange. Remember your training, Sam whispered. Don't eat or drink anything unless I check it first. Don't agree to any changes in the wedding plan. And most importantly, find a way to access their defense systems. Olivia stepped out of the ship. 4 Vexari guards waited for her. They were tall, each with 4 arms, and they wore armor that seemed to move like water over their bodies. They didn't carry visible weapons, but Olivia knew from the war that Vexari could turn their armor into deadly energy blades in seconds. This way, Commander, one guard said, gesturing with 2 of its arms. Olivia followed the guards to a floating platform. Sam came with her, but Captain Laura and the rest of the Earth crew had to stay with the ship. The platform moved smoothly away from the landing area. As they flew over the city, Olivia tried to memorize everything she saw. Where were the military buildings? Where were the weak points? But the city seemed to have no weak points. Everything was beautiful and perfect. They arrived at the Imperial Palace. It was a massive structure that seemed to be made of crystal and light. It towered over all the other buildings in the city. Inside, the palace was even more amazing. The walls shifted and changed as they walked, showing scenes from what Olivia guessed was Vexari history. The floor was solid but looked like flowing water. And everywhere there were Vexari, all watching Olivia with their strange diamond eyes. The guards led them to a large circular room. "Wait here," one said. "Prince Kairos will come soon." Then they left, closing doors that melted into the walls. "This place is impossible to map," Olivia whispered to Sam. "The walls keep changing." "Focus on the technology," Sam replied quietly. "The nanites need to find connection points to their network." Olivia nodded. The nanites in her blood were designed to spread through touch. If she could touch a main computer terminal, the nanites would transfer from her skin and begin their work. Suddenly, the air in the center of the room began to shimmer. A shape formed, becoming solid. It was a Vexari taller than the others Olivia had seen. Its skin was deep blue with patterns that swirled and changed as she watched. It wore a simple robe made of material that seemed to be woven from light. "Commander Olivia Mercer," the Vexari said. Its voice was deeper than the others with more complex harmonies. "I am Prince Kairos." Olivia bowed slightly as she had been taught. "Prince Kairos, thank you for receiving us." The prince moved closer. His skin changed color slightly, becoming bluer. "You are not afraid," he said. Not as a question, but as a statement of fact. "Fear serves no purpose," Olivia replied, keeping her face neutral. The prince's eyes narrowed. "Most humans we've met have been afraid. Even your diplomats. But you—" His skin rippled with colors. "You feel nothing." Olivia's heart beat faster, but she kept her expression calm. Had he seen through Dr. Pierce's hormone treatment? "I am a soldier," she said. "We are trained to control our emotions." Prince Kairos circled her slowly. "Yes, a soldier. The hero of the Battle of Europa. The commander who destroyed 3 of our best ships with just 1 of yours." His voice held no anger, just statement of facts. "That was war," Olivia said. "This is peace." The prince stopped in front of her. "Is it? Is this truly peace you seek, Commander? Or something else?" Before Olivia could answer, another Vexari entered the room. This one was older, its skin pale and almost transparent. "My son," the older Vexari said. "The council is waiting." Prince Kairos nodded. "We will speak more at dinner, Commander Mercer." He turned to Sam. "Your attendant will be shown to her quarters. You will come with me to meet the Imperial Court." Sam stepped forward. "I need to stay with Commander Mercer at all times. Those are our protocols." The older Vexari's skin flashed red, a sign of anger. "Your protocols do not matter here, human. This is Vexar Prime. You will follow our ways." Prince Kairos held up a hand. "Peace, Father. The humans are our guests now, not our enemies." He looked at Olivia. "Your attendant may accompany us to the court, but she must remain silent." Olivia nodded. "Thank you, Prince Kairos." As they followed the prince out of the room, Sam whispered very quietly, "Be careful. Something's not right here. They're too accommodating." Olivia had the same feeling. The Vexari had been brutal enemies during the war. Why were they being so polite now? What were they planning? And more importantly, how would she complete her mission if the prince was watching her so closely? The day of the wedding arrived with 3 suns rising over the Vexari capital. The sky was a beautiful mix of orange, red, and purple. Under different circumstances, Olivia might have enjoyed the view. But today her mind was focused on their plan. In the 4 days since discovering the truth, Olivia had worked with Vexari scientists to reprogram the nanites in her blood. It had been painful. Each adjustment felt like fire in her veins. But it was necessary. Dr. Fiona Murphy, who had secretly remained loyal to Earth, had helped through quantum communications. She explained that the nanites could be repurposed to carry data instead of destructive code. These nanites were originally designed for medical purposes, Fiona had explained, to deliver medicine throughout the body. The Nexus corrupted them, but we can restore their original function, carrying helpful packets of information instead of destructive ones. Now, as Olivia dressed for the ceremony, she touched the spot on her arm where the main control nanite had been injected. Everything depended on this working. There was a knock at her door. Ambassador Heather Caldwell entered, looking tense but determined. "Everything is ready," Heather said. "Admiral Kennedy's fleet is in position, hidden behind Vexar's third moon." And our people have secured the Nexus representatives who are here for the ceremony. What about Lieutenant Brooks? Olivia asked. Still in Vexari custody, Heather replied. She's not talking, but we don't need her to. We have all the proof we need from the data crystal. Olivia nodded. The data crystal had contained everything. Records of Nexus communications, proof of their manipulation, and details of their plan to start a new war. Are you ready? Heather asked gently. Olivia took a deep breath. Yes, let's end this. They walked together to the Crystal Pavilion, a huge structure made entirely of transparent crystal. Inside, hundreds of guests from both worlds had gathered. Vexari nobles with their color-shifting skin sat on one side. Earth representatives, most unknowing pawns in the Nexus game, sat on the other. And in a special section sat the Nexus representatives, watched closely by guards disguised as servants. They thought they were honored guests. They didn't know they were prisoners. Emperor Zultan sat on a floating throne at the front of the pavilion. His skin was the palest blue, almost white. Beside him stood Prince Kirus, wearing ceremonial armor that flowed like water over his body. His skin was shifting between green and blue, determination and hope. Music began to play, strange and beautiful. Olivia started walking down the aisle toward Prince Kirus. She wore a dress of silver and blue, with the Vexari royal symbol on the shoulder. Hidden within the symbol was the activation control for the nanites. As Olivia walked, she glanced up through the crystal ceiling. In the distance, she could see small shapes breaking through the atmosphere. The Nexus fleet had arrived. She quickened her pace slightly. They needed to act before the Nexus could attack. When she reached Prince Kirus, he took two of her hands in his fore. His skin rippled with colors, asking if she was ready. Olivia gave a small nod. The prince turned to the assembled guests. People of Vexar Prime and Earth, he began. This ceremony was meant to be a symbol of peace between our worlds. But true peace cannot be built on lies. Murmurs ran through the crowd. The Nexus representatives shifted uncomfortably. For too long, Prince Kirus continued, we have been manipulated, set against each other by those who profit from our conflict. One of the Nexus representatives stood up. This is outrageous. Emperor Zultan, control your son. Emperor Zultan's skin flashed red. My son speaks with my voice human, and he speaks the truth. At that moment, warning signals blared throughout the city. On screens around the pavilion, images appeared of the Nexus fleet entering Vexari airspace. They're attacking, someone shouted. Panic began to spread, but Olivia and Prince Kirus remained calm. This was part of the plan. Olivia touched the symbol on her shoulder. It grew warm under her fingers. She felt a tingling sensation as the nanites in her blood activated. Now, Dr. Murphy, she whispered into a small communicator hidden in her earring. On Earth, Dr. Fiona Murphy pressed a button on her console. The signal reached the nanites through the quantum channel the Vexari had established. Olivia felt a wave of heat spread through her body. The nanites were moving, gathering information from the data crystal that had been converted to code and stored within the main control nanite. Prince Kirus placed his hand on Olivia's arm. His touch triggered the Vexari part of the plan, using their consciousness transfer technology to create a network with the nanites. All around the Crystal Pavilion, screens that had been showing the approaching Nexus fleet suddenly changed. They now displayed documents, communications, and videos, all the evidence from the data crystal. The same information was being broadcast to every communication device on both Vexar Prime and Earth. Millions of beings were seeing the truth at the same time. People of Earth and Vexar Prime, Olivia said, her voice amplified by the pavilion systems. These are the records of the Nexus Consortium. They show how they started the war between our worlds, how they manipulated our leaders, how they plan to set us against each other again today. The Nexus representatives tried to flee, but Vexari guards blocked their way. Outside, the Nexus fleet had begun firing on the city. Energy shields absorbed the first attacks, but they wouldn't last long. Admiral Kennedy, Prince Kirus said into his own communicator. Now. From behind Vexar's third moon, Earthships appeared. They had been waiting in stealth mode. Now they moved to engage the Nexus fleet. At the same time, Vexari defense ships rose from hidden bases around the city. They joined the Earthships in surrounding the Nexus fleet. Inside the pavilion, Emperor Zultan raised his four arms. In light of this evidence as Emperor of the Vexari Empire, I declare the peace treaty with Earth to be valid and binding. No reparations will be required. No bride payment was ever demanded. He looked directly at the Nexus representatives.
And I declare the Nexus Consortium to be enemy to both our worlds.
Their assets will be seized. Their leaders will face justice. On the screens, new images appeared. On Earth, security forces were arresting Nexus agents. Some tried to resist, but they were quickly overwhelmed. The battle in space was short. Caught between Earth and Vexari ships, most of the Nexus fleet surrendered. A few tried to escape and were disabled. In the Crystal Pavilion, Olivia felt the nanites completing their work. The information had been broadcast. The truth was out. There was no going back for the Nexus. Prince Kyrus turned to Olivia. "It is done," he said. His skin was now a color Olivia had never seen before, a soft gold that seemed to glow from within. "What does gold mean?" Olivia asked. "It is the color of victory," the prince said. "Of a battle well fought and won." Olivia smiled. "Then it's the right color for today." Emperor Zultan floated down from his throne. "The ceremony was interrupted," he said. "Do you wish to complete it?" Olivia looked at Prince Kyrus in surprise. "Complete it? But there's no need now. The peace treaty doesn't require a bride payment." "True," Prince Kyrus said. His skin shifted, showing bands of blue, green, and a new color, a soft pink that Olivia hadn't seen before. "But perhaps there are other reasons to complete a ceremony." "What does pink mean?" Olivia asked quietly. The prince's four hands moved in a gesture of slight embarrassment. "It is the color of personal affection." Ambassador Heather stepped forward. "In human terms, Commander, I believe the prince is saying he likes you. For yourself, not as a political arrangement." Olivia blinked in surprise. She had never considered this possibility. She had come to Vexar Prime as a weapon, a sacrifice for Earth. The idea that she might stay for herself for a relationship with the prince had never crossed her mind. "I need time to think about this," she said honestly. Prince Kyrus nodded. "Of course. There is no hurry now. The peace between our worlds is secure." Emperor Zultan raised his arms again. "Let it be known throughout the galaxy. Earth and Vexar Prime stand together as allies. The war is truly over." The pavilion erupted in cheers, Vexari and humans celebrating together. Later, as the three suns set over the city, Olivia stood on a balcony of the palace. Earth ships and Vexari ships moved peacefully in the sky above, joint patrols protecting both worlds from any remaining Nexus forces. Prince Kyrus joined her, his skin now a calm blue. "What will you do now, Olivia Mercer? Will you return to Earth?" Olivia looked out at the beautiful alien city. "I don't know yet. For so long, my life has been about fighting, about survival. I'm not sure what comes next." "Perhaps," the prince said carefully. "What comes next is living, not just surviving," Olivia smiled. "Perhaps." Her hand touched the spot where the main control nanite rested. The nanites would soon dissolve, their work complete. The weapon she had carried inside her was gone, but something new had taken its place. A possibility, a future she had never imagined. The bride sent as payment for a debt had indeed hidden a dangerous secret, but in the end that secret had saved both worlds instead of destroying either. And now, for the first time in years, Olivia Mercer was free to choose her own path, whatever that might be.